Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we're doing it. Raid has come back out with their best event. It feels sad to say this, but it really does make a big difference, especially for people that are progressing through their accounts on Raid Shadow Legends. We've got free gear removal, and it's happening for the next 48 hours. If you've got time to build teams, now's the time to do it. In conjunction with this, we are yet again throwing on free optimiser premium mode, but everybody uses it. Also, if you're a mobile player and you've kind of like dropped off the planet and didn't realize, we've now got mobile optimiser as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to double the amount of like free jobs, or double the amount of jobs you would get for your tier of membership for that as well. So there is a free mode, but there's also kind of tiers that go above that, which gives you more access. It is a costly thing for us, the kind of mobile side of it. But anyway, all of this going on, I will just call out, like, I've got a Watcher of Realms channel, and Watcher of Realms, it's free to move gear around. And it does just kind of make you feel like, for me now, it feels like a bit of a cheap video in terms of like, oh man, like they're doing the free removal. Other games do it anyway. But anyway, it's still good. You should absolutely make use of this. This is the time where you should be moving stuff around and getting your teams in order. I guess, is it in conjunction with something else? I mean, you might well be the time where you're either going for the fusion or not. Some people will be, some people will not be, but it might be that time when you want to kind of change up your team and try to do something cool. Let's just talk you through what the optimizer could do for you if you don't know already. Once you've downloaded the optimizer from hellhades.com, I was just looking at something else here, but hellhades.com, you can come and become a member. A free member will give you access as well. You go into optimizer. If you're a PC user, you download the, or Mac, sorry, you download the extractor. If you're not a PC user, where it says your champions here, you will see something that says remote optimization, and then basically you follow the steps. I'll link a video where I go through how the remote optimization stuff works. Some people might be fearful that you do need to put in raid credentials. We have like 70,000 people using this. We don't want your accounts. Don't worry about that. Every bit of information is hashed immediately, so we don't store any information whatsoever. But once you've installed, or once you've kind of downloaded the optimizer and got it working, you'll then basically have all of your information from your account stored in the optimizer. If you can't see everything, hit reset filter, because there's probably something funky going on like it was just there with me. And you can literally come in now and either just work on your own champions, or you could work on finding a new team. So one of the best things about the optimizer, you go into team optimizer on the left-hand side, and you could be like, right, I really want to find that great Ice Golem hard stage 10 team. Yeah, I really want the team that's going to be 100%. So you put in the information that you want to find a team for, hit find a team. And what this does is shows you teams that have had successes before, real players that have done this while the optimizer is open. So it's not us making up stuff. It literally tells you for that player the actual success rate they had with these builds in this team. So you can go on the left-hand side here and just be like, right, well, actually, I want a 100% success rate. And I want to see a team that's had at least 10 runs so that we've got some consistency there. Apply the filter, and it'll be like, bam. Now, some of you do come back and say, well, it keeps showing me champions that I haven't leveled yet. Fine. If you click down here, only give me champions that I've got that are 6-star ascended. It will find those. Yeah, and if you're like, I don't know, I don't want a team that's got any sort of manual setup, you can exclude manual setup. Find those. Yeah, and it will just kind of kick back results of teams which are really strong. Shows you the average time for the team. If you then go into view variations and view team, it'll give you the actual breakdown of how that team was built. So what sets they're wearing, what stats they've got, what masteries everybody's got. And if you go show all down the bottom here as well, it will show you the setup in the AI configuration. Honestly, if you don't get close to all of these things, there's obviously going to be a chance that it fails, because this is what won. This is actually what won the fight. Okay? You add the team to the optimizer. And then from here, if you want to kind of like flick between the two, oh, I didn't quite remember what the masteries were. You can go into the save team, and it will kick you back to the team that you were looking at just now. So really cool tool. Click back, you go back into it again. And then from here, you're basically like clicking through each of the champions, telling the optimizer what builds you want. You do have to input the information. It can't just find it for you. Like it's working from the information that you're giving the optimizer. Same sort of thing with champions here. I could go in and do a single champion build and be like, Candy, are you finally going to get your build? Are you finally going to get your video? Yes, you are this week. And basically we go into here and we'd be like, right, I want to go into the optimize button, bottom left here. And I'd be like, I want a damage build. And then I can start working my way through the different tabs of what I want to use. So if you are using a PC, but it's got a crap GPU, a crap graphics setting, or doesn't have a one that works, you can equally use remote optimization and use our info. Yeah, but you would have to just sign in to do that. Okay, but anyway, damage build. I go into stats and say, right, I want a minimum speed of, call it 170. I don't really need to tell it much more than that for a damage build because everything else it's just going to find the best gear that I own. It knows if I want a damage build to choose things like savage gear or lethal gear. Glyphing is quite important. Tell it what glyphs you've got available. So what I tend to do is look at my available glyphs and be like how many speed or reasonable level of speed glyphs can I apply? So I would say I could probably get a +3 speed with the amount of 4-star ones I've got. I could probably get +5 accuracy, yeah. Attack, okay, well maybe I could go 5 stars, so maybe +4% attack on average. That's what I do. And then you can just come in here and be like, yeah, okay, I could give it at least a 4% more attack. I could give it 3 speed. And then we hit optimize and start. And what it's going to do is it's going to search through my gear on my account and find the best build for my Candrathon here. If you're doing it on mobile, it will use our PCs to do that, our servers to do that. So it takes a little bit longer, but you get the same results. And you can either have a kind of like card view where, and this is the default, where basically it's going to show you the best one top left with the important stats on show. Or you can view old style as a list and kind of like compare the different builds between each other. But know that the #1 build is the #1 for the requirement you wanted. And you can flick on the differences and all sorts. You can also just be like, right, let me see the skills and how much extra damage am I getting compared to the current build, which is quite cool as well. Saf has done absolute genius work on this tool, so praise the Saf. And then you hit the view button and basically tells you where all of the gear is that you're going to take to be able to make this work. So, for me to make this build work for Candy, I'm going to be stealing from my Baron. And interestingly, it's not picked Savage gear for me here. Wonder why that is. It's not picked any Savage gear. Could be because of the configuration that I set up in the start. Let me just check what I've put here. So I've told it not to steal from priority 3 and 5 locked champions. So I can unlock that and just let it include all gear that I've got. Just wondering if I have told it. Yes, this is why. So I've told it I'm fighting a really low-level defense boss. I didn't reset my original setup. So if I was to go with general and just say, no, my enemy defense is 4K, like in the arena, and it's a wave of enemies, whatever, HP 100K. This is more like what I fight. The levels are more like 60. Yeah. And then if I hit optimize again, so you notice I didn't have Savage gear in that one because it thought you've got no defense to try and break through. Okay. Now, when we tell it there is defense to break through, the optimizer's like, well, give me a second because that gear is not going to cut it anymore. And it will find me a better set. And what it's going to find me here is Savage gear with Cruel. Because now it's like, no, you need to break through a ton of defense. So this is going to be your best gear to steal from. And then, again, if we went into skills, we see the skills over here. The amount of extra damage now that I'm doing because I'm putting Savage gear on. So look, I've done a whole bunch of videos on how to use this tool for different types of builds. I'll link some of those down below because they will be helpful. But yeah, whether you use the optimizer or not, you should make use of this next 48 hours to do some re-gearing. Be careful though, don't like just empty the gear off of every champion you own because I've seen so many people do it and they just don't have time to re-gear every single champion they own. I've literally seen it so many times. Like, I've got this blank slate, it feels cool. But honestly, it's a lot of work to re-gear tons of champions. So do it in bite-sized chunks would be my advice. Anyway, there you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. Enjoy it. I'll see you later.